Good morning, everybody. Today's topic is about airline retailing in China. Firstly, put your happy card. Tell me how many people have been to China. Oh, not so many. Okay. So then I'll share something about market change and the new opportunities. Let's look at air passenger traffic in China. It's still growing, and it sits at 600 million last year. But in recent years, the growth rate has slowed down, especially in international route. So look at the yellow line. The growth rate reached 33% in 2015, but now it's only 6%. So in the past, airline can easily make money by taking advantage of the natural growth of passenger traffic. But now the airline in China have to find more source of revenues. Secondly, let's look at the total market in China. So before 2001, China's GDP per capita was less than $1,000 US. At that time, ticket price was very expensive for the passengers. So the majority of the market are business travelers. But by 2008, the China's GDP per capita has more than 3,000. So the leisure travel is booming. And now, China's GDP per capita has exceeds 9,000. So the tourist market is very familiar as the US market. So the majority of market has become the leisure travelers. So in the past 20 years, China finished change from the business travel market to leisure travel market. Finally, let's look at the consumers. Firstly, the demand of consumer become more and more diversified because developed e-commerce brought them more choice than ever. Second, in recent years, e-commerce in China is very popular, and we have the Alibaba and other shopping apps, which enable the customer to develop a habit of online consumptions. And it also forced the airline to speed up the shift to online. Third, the mobile penetration in China has reached more than 80%. I think it's higher than US. So the consumers prefer shopping on the mobile device. So the guys in China is always sleeping on the bed and drink coffee and shopping. So we don't like sit in behind the desk and shopping. So we call it a Stone Age. So now we call the internet age. The consumer's requirement for product consistency. So the consumer hope to get the same product and the service in different channels. For example, cross-channel refund and reissue. So all the change have pushed the Chinese airline to change its business model from the production-centric to consumer-centric. Next, I'll talk something about airline strategy and change in China. First is airline strategies. I think on the one hand, it's the airline want to expand its business area through cross-industry cooperation, such as Alibaba, Tencent. Firstly, from the airline industry to the other areas, transportation, and then to the tourism-related areas. On the other hand, the airline want to improve its main business. Through the reach of all the touchpoint passengers, the airline want to improve the quality of service and also increase the new source of revenues. So under this strategies, airlines have begun to make some changes in China. So the first change is promote the airline direct channel. So look at this chart. So we can see the airline direct channel continue to grow its shares from 20% in 2012 to 48% last year. So at the same time, the share of third party continued to slip. So why? I think it's because airlines' effort in two areas. From technical perspective, the new technology helps the airline can enhance its own website and apps. And from the business perspective, the airline provides more promotion and service in its own direct channels. So the next change is airline want to expand new channels. So firstly, airlines are working with the social medias. For example, besides airlines' own website, passengers can also buy tickets on WeChat. WeChat is the most popular social media app in China and has more than 1 billion users. So the airline hope using the massive traffic of WeChat can help them sell more tickets and also extend the airline's reach and also improve the users' statistics. So here's the example of Air China. In addition, airline also working with e-commerce platforms. One of the famous is Alibaba Flaggy platform mode. It's very famous in China. It's allowed the airline create their own storefront on their platforms. We call it flagship store. So here's an example of China Eastern Airlines. The third is NDC. OK, it's always NDC. In China, NDC is always very popular. From airline perspective, China Southern Airlines has already certified by IATA NDC level 4. And from agency perspective, the 6 biggest Chinese OTA wholesalers are taking NDC content from both Chinese and foreign airlines. From IT provider perspective, TravelSky's is certified by IATA NDC level 4 certification, both IT provider and aggregators. Oh, that's true. OK. And we are working with OpenJaw on Cathay Pacific's NDC project. The last change is airline want to sell more and more products. So the first one is the brand fairs. OK, so in the recent years, brand fair is very popular in US. Yesterday, I was talk about with the guys in Canada and also some guys in the US market. We also do some change for the brand fairs. But in China, I think since this year, brand fair is also very popular. So the Chinese airlines, such China Eastern, have already begun to offer brand fair. Like US, United States, we have the basic economy. And in addition, Chinese airline also increasing the sales of optional service. Last year, 16 domestic airlines sell 5 kinds of optional service. The sale of baggage is highest. The follow is seat, and then is cabin upgrades. And the last one is aerial intermodality. It's very popular in China. As you know, China has the biggest high-speed train network in the world. It's longer than the Great Wall. So the people in China is always like to take high-speed train. So it's why the low cost is not popular in China. So the airline also provided the aerial product. This example is for the China Eastern. From the city near Shanghai, Suzhou, you can take the train, high-speed train to Shanghai and fly to US, to the other city of the world. So we are at the crossroad of the airline retailing revolution. I think it's both a chance and opportunities. So during the last 2 years, we are working with ATP Core on rich content and dynamic pricing and also the NGS. So thank you, ATP Core. Thank you all, guys. Thank you. That's all.